Somebody had to
Hello,
do it.
everybody. The stream definitely just stared at like a blank silent screen for like a while because I put the new art on, but I forgot that the old like intro thing wasn't just like a image file with that song in the background. It's like a video and it fades out automatically, and that's how I know to start the stream. So I'm just staring at that image like, man, the intro song's taking a long time tonight. And I'm like, oh, it's done. No. So happy Tuesday, everybody. We're off to a rip-roaring start here on Proficiency Bonus for another episode of Delve Requisite. You might be noticing that things are looking a little different today. The character of Nimue will be being played by an enormous Pikachu plushie. That's one change that we've made.
And what do you think, Nimue? Pika Pika! Great. Thank you.
The overlay is different. The art is different. I did a bunch of new art assets, and this is the first week that I'm unveiling the new Pirates overlay. So we've got this going on. It's a brand new day. It's a whole new world. It's the same sophomoric idiocy that you've come to love and expect from our D&D adventures. Before we get going, let's give a quick shout out of thanks to both Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games for sponsoring Proficiency Bonus. Please check out those fabulous sponsors. You can type ! Little Dragon or ! CCG to get a link to those websites. And check them out. There they are. So thank you to both of them.
Victory is mine. Victory is mine.
Victory is...
I don't know what's happening.
I'd beat her to the chat commands.
Okay. Well, thank you to those sponsors. And, of course, keep an eye out directly below us. I just hit my hand so hard on my desk. Somebody's going to need to start an extra life stream for me because I'm wounded. But until that happens, you can suffice yourself with the extra life donation goal that is for children who actually need your help. But thank you to viewers, everybody at home, who over the last week-ish, primarily during our big birthday week extravaganza, helped us reach our goal of $1,000 and surpass that goal. And we can keep that train going. So be sure to click that link down below if you want to check out the extra life stuff. So thank everybody who donated to that. We are super grateful for all of that support. So, on tonight's episode of Delve Requisite, we will pick up where we left off, which the DM may have discovered about 10 minutes before stream was an entire session beyond what he thought we had done. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All good here. The party is still in the city.
That's true immersion right there. When you just get in so into the moment that you have like this out of body experience, you just don't remember.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a good explanation aside from
Yeah, that's what it is.
just the truth, which is just vaguely being an idiot.
Yeah. So the party is still in the city of Terra Libra. The city-state run by the Ordinum Libri, or the Bookkeepers, with whom they have allied themselves against the forces of the Brotherhood of Artanis and the Ignean Empire, who are in the process of launching some sort of a plot for world domination, or at the very least, a hefty military campaign against the Kingdom of Mithlinde. The group of you eventually have sort of the task of heading back to the Grimm's Folly, which is currently back out in the Iolaquis archipelago, awaiting your return, to then kind of like tail the armada and sort of see like where they're going and what they're doing in the sort of southern portion of that island chain. The primary suspicion was that they were going to circle around the Cape of Honoran to head towards the western shore of Mithlande, but there are some suspicions that they have other goals in that region, and the hope is that with a well-placed group of crafty, law less than abiding individuals, law, you may be able to sort of thwart that plot. But at the moment, you guys are still kind of like taking care of stuff that you want to do in the city. So last time, everybody got a bunch of cool magic items from Boris Volodov, the head of the Ordinum Librae's artificery, a place called the Workshop, which is over on the Ordinum Rise over there behind me. And you had some conversations with Brahm of the Fool's Errand about things that were going on there, and you pretty much have the day, the whatever ahead of you to do whatever it is that you guys would like to do in the city of Terra Libra. Places you want to go, things you want to see, exploring you want to do, and essentially whenever you guys are like ready to leave, you can arrange with the Ordinum Librae to send you back either to Naporia or to like the Grimm's Folly directly. But I will turn it over to you guys, and I'm gonna get a little bit of.
Did the orcs get their like cure and shit?
You can certainly check in with them. You know that the plan was that they were going to. You came here with your orcish friends that you had met. You also came here with the gentleman that you picked up out of the drink a while back, Gregory, the ex-Mithlindian guard. He kind of told you guys like, I think I've had enough of the high seas for a while. I think I'm gonna hitch a ride back to like solid land. So he's around in the city. You know that when you arrived, the orcs were sent off by Tori and Idrian, who had like made preparations ahead of time to a part of the Ordinum Rise on their campus, where like their sort of like medical hospital type of thing is, which is here. I have so many names for things. Walthorpe Hall, otherwise colloquially known as the Ward, which is like the sort of medical facility that the Ordinum keep. You know that the orcs were sent there upon arrival.
And they're coming back with us once we get their tour, right?
That is kind of up for, I would say, discussion with them. You know that their ultimate goal is to go home.
Right.
So how that is achieved is up to you guys, to work out with them.
Are they closer to home here?
No, probably not.
Okay.
If
But
we were
here potentially has like
Means
magic
getting
boys that can, yeah.
could take them.
Okay.
If we can't get the magic boys, if we were to take them back with us to the ship, would we pass? They're from Honorand, right?
They are from Honorand. Yeah, theoretically,
to
you
get
guys are
Sunday?
sailing in that direction. So depending on
Okay.
how things shake out, you theoretically could kind of like make port
Drop them
somewhere, along the coast of Honorand.
Probably getting them magic means would be easier, so they don't have to go back to Naporia and like fight the urge
And
to,
then
like,
wait,
kill everybody for honor.
or wait longer to get home with this cure. So,
Yeah, that too.
do you want to go find the orcs first?
Probably. We should at least check on them and see what their plan is, if they have a plan. and see if we can get them magical means to get home quickly, so maybe save more people with the cure.
Crap.
I've been wanting to check out the ward anyway, so that works for me.
Sure. Captain, Lexus, do you guys have any wants or needs here?
I'm curious to see about the ward as well. I don't mind tagging along.
Okay. Captain? Do you have secret shit you need to do that's all like captain shit that we're not allowed to know about?
No, not really.
Okay, great. So you're coming with us?
Yeah, I guess.
Hell yeah. Alright.
I mean, I could come up with some secret captain
I was
shit
just gonna
if
say,
you want.
come up with some secret captain shit. Find other captains to be sneaky about.
If we're walking there and he's suddenly gone, we know he found some secret captain shit to go
Yeah,
to.
That's the assumption. That we can't find the murder beard, he's off doing sneaky captain shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so you guys want to head to the ward.
Yes, please.
Alrighty, easy enough to find. You guys are a little bit getting your bearings here in Terra Libra, especially like the confines of the campus of the Ordinum Rise. The ward is a 4-story building, kind of nestled up in the north, like east-ish quadrant of the Ordinum Rise. It is set back a little bit with like a little bit of a lawn around it, so it's kind of set back in on the little piece of land that it is built on. It is kind of just a big sort of boxy square building. It is made out of what appears to be largely like white marble and like white. I don't know if like plaster is the right word, but if you imagine like you know like those like famously like really beautiful like white buildings in Greece. It's sort of that's the architecture I'm trying to evoke with this building. It has a large walkway leading up to a easily navigable entrance. There is a welcoming atrium where you see that there is a sort of a reception desk with a few individuals wearing white clean like linen like scrubs essentially that are appear to be there to direct folks when they come in.
I guess we'll go in. I guess Rowan will just walk up to the desk and excuse me.
One of the people from behind the desk looks up. He's kind of a young-ish. He looks like he's maybe in his like early 20s. Young like human gentleman. He looks up and he says, "Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?"
Have you seen a bunch of orcs around in here? They're our friends, and we're hoping to find them and check in on them. They were sent over here by Tori and Adrian a few days ago, a day ago.
He smiles and he turns and kind of exchanges glances with the other people behind the desk who also you kind of notice are quite young looking. And he turns back to you and he says, "Oh, yes, everybody knows about the long-tooth orcs. They've been quite the they're quite the hit since they got here."
In a problematic way.
No, not a bad way. They seem to have a I don't know, their value system, they seem to be very adamant that they need to provide services in exchange for the medicine that that Master Ket is giving them. So they've been assisting the past few days.
Sounds like McCrawl and the gang.
I gotta see this. Oh
What
my god.
what kind of assisting are they doing currently?
A lot of moving things from place to place. The
You didn't need anybody like or anything like that. They probably pretty good at that.
the student you're talking to is no, in a sense, no.
Oh, I apologize. That was probably a little upfront. I'm sorry. I'm learning how to be a pirate. It's just,
I was gonna say learning how to be a person.
No, pirate first, person second.
He says, actually, if you guys are looking for the long-tooth orcs, they're in one of the observation rooms right now with Master Ket. He is he's instructing them on the proper crafting and application of the medicine that he's sending them back with.
Right.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind you guys stepping in. I can show you back there.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
You guys are led through a set of like swinging doors into a clean white, everything is very like sterile and antiseptic in here. There's a little bit of like an astringent smell in the air of like some sort of a chemical that is like scouring things. There's also like a little bit of a tingle of like the remnant of like repeated prestidigitating, all like specks of dust. So the ward is extremely clean as you guys walk through it.
I would also say to Rowan as we're walking and noticing all this, boy, I hope they didn't have the orcs carry anything fragile.
I'm sure the orcs are a little bit more dexterous than we give them credit for. I think they're just more blunt than most of us are used to. But you're right, hopefully nothing valuable and delicate. She gets worried face and she starts walking faster.
As you guys keep walking, the young man that is kind of leading you says, "Oh no, they've been absolutely delightful with everybody. Once we got past a little bit of the skepticism about some of the more mundane like physicers practices that we do here, and we convinced them that it wasn't evil magic. They were quite happy, and several of them actually been very eager to learn. The big boss guy, McCrawl, right? You said his name was. He's been fascinated by a lot of this. But no, they've been great, and they've been a big help. We move subjects or sometimes he kind of like lowers his voice, like some cadavers, from place to place, and they're very helpful. He leads you guys through kind of like a little bit of a confusing interior to this building, but eventually he brings you down a hallway, and he leads you through a set of doors, and you open into like a sort of like an amphitheater style observation room with like seats, around that lead down, and on the center of the floor there is like a what you can imagine would normally be like an operating platform, where an instructor of some sort might like conduct procedures or something like that, and be like observed by students. You get a vibe as you kind of walk through this place, and you see this chamber set up like this, and it sort of clicks that like a lot of the attendants and things that you've seen working here seem to be very young. That there's like a heavy element of like this is a teaching facility as well as like a a hospital and stuff like that. And at the bottom of this chamber on that like surgical platform, the normal surgery stuff has been cleared away, and at a table at the farthest side from where you guys are coming in, there is a man standing who is wearing he's wearing like a long white surgical like cross the chest button on this side like lab coat. He has a pair of like large leather gloves that come up to his elbows. He is, you would gauge probably his mid-50s. He appears to be a half-elf from what you can tell. He has like streaks of gray on either side of his head. And he has in front of him like a very basic-looking chemistry set, most of which appears unused. He is primarily using a small like what appears to be like a small magical flame in like a little burner, a mortar and pestle, and several like component little like containers that have some different powders and reagents and things in him. What was it? Across from him, facing away from you guys, all looking at him, all with their own little table, are all of the orcs, who are all also wearing like white scrubs like you've seen these others in. There's a lot of like ripped off sleeves and like some of the backs of this like it does seem that they did have a little bit of trouble finding enough of these like outfits in sizes for these guys, but they're all wearing them, including front and center of the group. You see McCrawl, who is hunched over his own little set of this, whatever this experiment is, and he turns to like look as you guys come in, and you see that he is wearing like on the bridge of his nose he has like just little like spectacles that somebody has given him at some point. And he looks up and he kind of like grins at you and he lifts his chin. In that what you have seen is that like that greeting before the person in the front of the room is kind of in the process of saying, and you have to be very careful if you do not get the particulate size small enough when you crush the powdered reagent. The resulting reaction will not take place correctly. It is the distillation and the collected product of this powder that will be gathered to form the medicine that you need. So this part is extremely critical. Please proceed with the crushing of your reagent, and I will come around and check your work as you go. Chop chop then. And then like 10 sets of little mortars and pestles in like huge orc hands begin to just grind. And the individual at the head of the class then like leaves them to it, comes around the tables. He stops at one orc and he goes like, you want a circular grinding motion as opposed to a that's you're just sort of pounding. He says it's this. And the orc, okay. And he begins to grind. And the individual comes up to you and he says, I take it by your appearance, from what I have heard from the members of the Longtooth tribe here, that you are our seafaring companions. I am Physica Sanradar Ket. I run the ward here. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you. How are they doing? They look doing good.
They are extremely motivated to do their work with the greatest of accuracy. This is the process by which they will make the medicine that they need to bring back to their people. The direness of their situation, as they have explained it to me, has left them students with the utmost of dedication to learning quickly and with the greatest accuracy.
Oh my god. Can I watch them? Can I just sneak around and try and see how they're all doing?
You asking him that, or are you asking the DM that?
I'm trying to I don't want to disturb them from their work, but I want to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can. You kind of walk around the chamber. It's just they're all busily grinding away. You see that essentially what they are doing is they have in their little reagent things, they each have these dried flowers, and they are heating those flowers to a point just below igniting them, cooling them down, and then grinding them into a powder after carefully removing certain parts of the flower. They're pulling out pistils and stamens from the flowers and setting those aside, and grinding the petals with the interior portions of the flowers. My flower anatomy should be better than this, but I don't remember the rest of my terms. But they're then grinding those into a very, very fine powder, which you can kind of see based on the setup and what Sandra Darquette has at the front is then put into a glass container that is heated, and liquid is put in to make a solution with this powder. It is then heated and condensed and collected through a series of chemistry looking doodads, to eventually evaporate down to a sort of a crusty, flaky substance, which you see he has set aside as seems to be the final product of this is whatever the medicine that they're making is this. So all these orcs are just going about working on this process.
I'll ask Kat. It seems a bit complicated of a process with all these different equipment. Are you able to supply them to take some back with them so they have the ability to do it out in their territory, or what's the plan?
He gestures towards McCraw. He says, I have been coordinating with their leader there to devise methods that can be utilized with the tools and materials that they will have on hand in their own home village, as they obviously will not have access to finely measured glass. The dogs have gotten into the operating room again. That happens from time to time.
I can't be sanitary.
No, actually, they all have PhDs. They're very accomplished surgeons. So they do scrub in before they come in, but then they get very excited about procedures, and they balk sometimes.
What is it that they won't have access to at home? You mean these sets, or the
he says
specific chemicals?
That thingy, the tubing.
He gestures towards. He says the various flasks and pipettes and shaped formed glass that we have access to here because of the artificery is not something that they have made clear is not something they have ready access to in their own home. So we are devising methods that they can replicate this process and successfully create the medication that they need with more rudimentary equipment that they will be able to fabricate themselves.
I think the idea of that backup is great, but if the equipment is the problem, couldn't we just purchase some for them?
He says, "Oh no, I absolutely intend to send several sets with them. That is not the question, but glass breaks and I should hate that that over time they would lose the means to create the medicine that they might so desperately need. No, I will be sending a supply of the amaranthus flower that they need to create the medicine and the tools to do so. But I am interested in long-term solutions. So
Makes sense.
if we can accomplish that, then all the better.
That's great. Um, how far along are they in their like training right now? Like, do they got it down pat, or do they still need more time to like perfect it?
He says, I should think that within the next day or so, I would be comfortable sending them on their way with product. Several among them, McCrawl included, have proved extremely proficient. McCrawl tells me that he has had some experience with the herbalists of his own tribe, so he was familiar with what I might call a rudimentary precursor to some of the advanced chemistry that is practiced here. It has served him quite well. Fundamentally, we don't need to get all of them to the point where they are competent crafters of this medication. If we get a few that can safely make it reliably, time seems to be more critical. That the faster we can get them on their way home, the better.
Great. Speaking of going on their way home, have you heard anything about maybe using magical means to like yeet them where they need to go, so we don't have to spend weeks on a boat trying to get them home?
He says, largely the only things that I hear about are as they relate to the practices here within the wards, but
Gotcha.
magical yeeting, was it?
Yeah.
Should certainly be possible.
Cool. Who do I talk to about magical yeeting?
The yeeting department is 2 buildings now.
Nice. Sign me up.
It's just a stone's throw away. It's...
Yeah.
Turn the stream off.
He says I would put an inquiry in with the stewards. They can put you in contact with the correct arrangements to secure teleportation.
That would be great, because, yeah, if their people are sick, I think it would be better to get them the medicine as quickly as possible instead of waiting weeks for us to get it to them. Less people could die if we're quick about it.
A sound assessment.
Okay. I'll wait until they're, like, done before I check in with McCraw. I don't want to interrupt their lesson.
Yeah,
I know
well,
how that feels.
he finishes up soon enough. He kind of sets his aside and gestures over. Senator Darquette comes over and he looks at it. He like picks up the flask with the material in it. He kind of eyeballs it to the light. He takes like a little metal spatula and like scrapes some of it. Takes a look at it and pronounces it satisfactory. This is excellently crafted. McCraw goes,
McCraw, you guys are doing so good.
He kind of looks at you and he like pushes his glasses up his nose a little and he says, yes, the medicine man of this place has been very helpful in instructing us.
I'm glad. Hopefully we can get the fever under control, yeah? Quickly?
It is my hope. But we have been gone many months. I also fear what we will find when we return.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, on your behalf, I'm going to talk to some stewards about getting you some magical means to get home right away so you're not stuck on a boat with us for weeks trying to get you home. And then that way, we can get your people the medicine faster. What do you think about that? Would you be okay with that?
He nods. He says, I am once again in your debt.
Nah. We're friends, Mokral. You're cool.
He kind of like,
I'll translate that into Orcish if that helps.
he ponders that. Oh, this whole conversation has been in Orcish. His
Okay,
common is
great,
very
yeah,
bad. My presumption was that you're talking to him.
Yeah,
in
I do
Orcish.
speak Orcish, so yeah.
Because he doesn't speak much common.
He doesn't speak much common, yeah.
But you definitely get the sense that he's grappling with sort of the cultural differences of like, we're buds, so we just do favors for each other. He's like, the nature of like Orcish culture seems to be very like transactional in like.
I mean, he helped us all at Naporia, right? Or like at the other fighting that we did. They definitely helped us. So like, if you want to think of it as a transactional crawl, I just think you're cool and I like you, and I would do it even if you didn't help us. Shocking, I know.
He doesn't seem to know what to say to that. He's
That's
a little bit of a fish out of water in his like lab coat and his glasses.
The glasses really suit you. Like, these are great.
He says, they are strange and I have to keep pushing on them, but I can see things that I could not before.
I know.
And Sandra Arquette goes like, oh, yes, it turns out your friend was nearsighted.
Oh. Well, there you go. Maybe we should send you back with some more glasses for everybody else that might need it.
He says, perhaps. I do not know how the others will react to these magical pieces of glass that make you see.
It's not really magic, but also, if you think about it, you can teach other people how to make this stuff, and if they have the glasses, that might help them, like, learn it faster.
He looks over to Ket and in Orcish. He says, is this the reason for my aptitude? Have you given me enchanted eyewear that has made me learn faster? And Ket in Orcish goes like, no, my dear man. I believe that the good lady was insinuating that there may be others among your people who are similarly disadvantaged as it relates to their optic abilities, and these items may prove useful for them. He goes, I am out of my element here, and he like looks and he's like, do not know what to do.
That's okay.
Looking at me.
Macrawl, you're out of your element, but it really suits you. Like, all of this, it suits you.
He goes like, very well. I shall attend to the others in their practicing of the medicines. That way we may be on our way to the next leg of our journey faster.
Yes. I will go talk to the stewards, and I will also ask about sending you guys back with a box of glasses as well. I'll leave them to it.
Alright, they go back to that. So Sandra Arquette, steps away from them as not to disturb them. He says, was there anything else that I can assist you with while you were visiting here?
Rowan?
I wonder, and seeing the medicine you're practicing, but is more of a physical nature. But is there anyone here who uses divine sources that I might speak with to learn a little more?
He kind of analyzes you a minute. He says, to answer the core of your question, we do not merely instruct and illuminate others in the mundane nature of the healing arts. We are equally as versed in the arcane. However, the term divine is a rather loaded question, a rather loaded one. He kind of looks and he says, why don't we retire to a different chamber? I would be happy to discuss this with all of you, where we will not disturb my gaggle of new students. And he kind of leads you up, and he gestures to like the young man who saw you, and he says, Andre, please supervise the class here, while I take a conversation in the other chamber with these group. They should merely be finishing their medication crafting process over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. I would remind you that several of them do have the penchant for trying to consume their medication by means of testing it after they have crafted it, and by no means should they be allowed to do so, as if they have done it wrong, it will be viciously poisonous. And Andre goes, of course, sir, I remember. Very well. And he leads you guys out of the chamber into like a kind of like a little office behind it. And he goes and he sits down behind a desk. And he actually does, like, as he sits, he makes like a series of gestures, and chairs for each of you guys like spring up out of nowhere. And he gestures for you to sit. He says, please make yourselves comfortable.
Sit.
Yeah, I sit right across from him.
So, you are inquiring about magics that can heal of a divine nature, you said.
Mainly, I'm sick of people dying, and I want to know how to do my job better.
You are a cleric, then?
No. I was... She gets really awkward and she remembers, like, this guy knows what this means. I was a member of the Radiant Dawn.
Very well. You kind of watch him decide to, like, gloss over, like, to just, like, all right, I've taken that in and I'm gonna move past it. And he says,
Questions later, maybe.
He says, you have some skills in the healing arts, then, as you were instructed via the Radiant Dawn's brand of teaching. Am I to understand that correctly?
Yes, and I have a kit, and I've learned what I can while there for in battle healing, and I'll pull out my healer's kit and all of that. And, you know, I do what I can for people.
He kind of nods and he says, we don't have the luxury, nor do I think that the group of you have the interest in delving deeply into the intricacies of schools of magics and the various theocratic approaches to certain schools of magic. The Radiant Dawn has a penchant and I will put this as delicately as possible, as I don't know the extent of your background.
I cut him off, and I just say, "You don't need to be delicate about it. I'm not with them anymore, and I'm an adult, so please say whatever you feel you need to say."
He says, the Radiant Dawn has a habit of putting things into boxes. They call the source of their magic divine. They say it comes from a higher power. Their Star of Dawn, as they call it, I believe. And the more zealous among their ranks would describe the means by which they heal as holy or righteous or inherently good of nature, whilst ascribing negative or evil connotations to other forms of magic. I draw no conclusions about the nature of divinity myself. I will not deny that whether it be the Radiant Dawn or I have heard tales of certain those who call themselves clerics and their abilities with healing magic and the sources of this. But it is my personal belief that at the end of the day, magic which manipulates the matter of living flesh is of one type.
Necromancy.
Necromancy. He says the term over many years has developed its own set of connotations. I will not deny that there are dangerous elements to necromancy, but I am a firm believer that no magic is inherently good or evil. It is the intent of the wielder and the purpose to which that magic is used. Magic is a tool. It is how it is used that defines its morality. He says, I myself am what could accurately be described as a necromancer. I am accomplished in magics that relate specifically to the manipulation of living flesh, bone, blood, things of that nature. I use those skills and a lifetime of studying of the anatomy of living creatures in order to heal wounds, mend injuries, things of that nature. That makes it no more evil than anything else. The nature of what the Order of the Radiant Dawn would call divine healing magic seems primarily to differ in that your knowledge of the anatomical properties of the subject of your healing is irrelevant to the process. It is a magic that is driven by will, or some might call it devotion to whatever the higher power might be. But at its core, the mechanics of the magic and their effects, their results are the same. All of that is a long-winded way of saying that if you possess the ability to heal, to mend wounds, to cure poisons, I don't know how developed your skill set is. In my experience, there are two paths available to you if you are interested in developing that talent. You can delve more deeply into the source of the magic as you wield it now, whether you would call it faith or devotion to an ideal or a cause or a deity's power, or you can take the academic route and you can study anatomy, physiology, pathology. These things increase your understanding of the things that you might need to heal. It will make you a much more proficient mundane physica, and should you choose to step into the arcane arts and prove to have proficiency, you can find paths to learn any number of necromantic abilities that will aid you in that goal. I am not to say which of those is right or wrong. I have never been a man of faith myself, and so for me that path is closed and forever will be. You, I take it by the expressions on your face and the shakings of your heads during my discussion, you have your own turmoils on the matter, but in my experience, if on some level you did not have some sort of connection to this source of power from which the Radiant Dawn's clerics and paladins and things draw their power, you would not have access to it. It may be that I have no professional advice to offer you at all in the realm of medicines. It may need that you need spiritual guidance to accomplish your goals of increasing your capabilities in the healing realms.
In that case, top 10 books I can find at the library that I can put on my magical little doohickey that lets me bring books everywhere.
Ha! He says, I'll give you the reading list for my first years, and he immediately whoosh, pulls out a piece of paper and hands you
Yes,
a
yay!
list with
tangible, hell yeah!
with
Yay.
10 books on it that are basic physiology, anatomy of it's like a compendium of anatomy of common Igerian races, some basic triage skills,
Yes.
things that will help you become a better medical
Considering
personnel.
I spend a lot of time on a ship, and I don't know when we'll next be back. Is there a slightly more advanced book than these that you think would be of interest? Academically speaking.
He takes that
Or
list
your
back
favorite,
to you.
maybe.
He takes that list back and he writes in one more at the bottom, and he says this is the most recent edition of a book of my own work. It is as abridged, whilst still being valuable, a copy as I have been able to condense my learning on medicine, as I have been able to craft. And you see that the title of the book that he has written down there is the Grand Medica. He says this text has been my life's work. He says, as I learn more, I update it and I release I pen a new edition or I make alterations. But the library has the most up-to-date version of this body of work. He says, I would read the others on the list first and understand them before attempting to delve into the more advanced elements of the Grand Medica. It is it does not make asides for those who are not already possessed of the working knowledge that they would need.
Thank you for your time, Master Ket. As I said, I'm just simply sick of my friends dying around me. And there's a lot of nights on the boat that I don't sleep well, so some light reading it is.
Light, yes.
Trust me, if my parents would have allowed me to just be a scholar, I would have been, but it was socialite or exile. You know which one I picked, and I stand up.
He kind of looks and he says, well, then if there is nothing else that I may do to be of service to any of you, it has been a pleasure to meet you.
Master Ket, there's one thing.
Yes.
That I think you might be able to help me with. Do you have a jar or beaker anywhere nearby or out in the...
He says, this is... yes.
I want to go to an area where I can find a beaker, and I'm going to pull out that pink fluid I stole from Thysine.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a few drops of that in a beaker, and I'm going to keep the rest of it if I'm able to. Am I able to open this thing, Matt? I mean, I don't know what it exactly like.
Ooh, let me get that pulled up. I gotta dig.
Because I just want to give him a little bit.
Details on that.
I don't want to get. I want to keep the rest.
I love you, Thexus. You're so good.
What could go wrong?
Give me 1 second to pull this up. I think the answer is that you cannot get the liquid out of there, but I'm gonna you showing this to him is still going to achieve something. I just need to go find the description of the item.
Yeah, I think I only had written down like glass beaker of pink fluid or something like that in my character sheet. So
I've got it. I just have to.
Chaos are you causing, sir?
I'm telling you, he's literally opening this like foreign substance in like the sterile pharmaceutical lab. He's literally gonna make another fucking fantasy COVID.
Can't believe I forgot about that. Is that even in the notes? Like, I'm getting concerned.
you have to go back and check your.
I am. Checking right now. Going all the way back to the Thysine days.
The problem is going to be that you never got the official name of the thing, and now I have to find it. Yeah. there's something involving peanut butter happening right now.
What Stream can't see is there's a doggo getting peanut butter.
She walked in and said, "Can you hold this up for him to lick?" And then just left the room, and I don't know why I'm doing this now.
I mean, putting the dog butts on the stream is like old news. Now this
Now
is
it's
the news.
peanut
Well, Matt, it's okay. If you want to say that it doesn't open, I would
It
probably
doesn't open,
just.
but he knows what it is, which is why I need to find it so he can tell you what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I was just gonna hand it to him and say, I need you to run some tests and tell me what's in this.
No, he'll know what it is as soon as he sees it. I just have to freaking find the name of it.
That concerns me more that I'll know what it is.
I don't know if I'm supposed to keep giving this to you, or if you lick it all up, that it's not here to be the distraction that it's supposed to be. I guess I'll just keep giving you peanut butter. Oh, goodness.
It is in the notes. I just didn't have that it was pink.
Ooh. What a deeply interesting thing for stream.
If you wanna wait on it, Matt, we can wait on it and just keep going and just.
Was this
We can revisit.
like the area where I was being
This-
like
Yes,
tested
it was
on?
Yeah, this is
immediately
when
after
we
we
got
got
done.
done.
when we sold you.
Yeah,
This was the syringe and the vial.
the syringe and the vial.
Is
yeah.
this is this the stuff that the weird like mummified people were spewing? I thought that shit was purple.
Well, they had that. They had something like attached to them.
Yeah,
that
they had
was-
like tanks, didn't they? Like,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
were
they
had
had
some
like
kinda-
tags attached to them.
Oh, okay. And if we took like they couldn't live without it because it was like
Like
fucked
life
up.
force.
I don't know, they were
Yeah.
juicing everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not pink, and it's not purple.
Purple.
It's
It's-
magenta.
It's magenta.
Oh,
now
there we go. That's
there's
right.
the
It's
difference.
not. We
It's
weren't having a
magenta.
Mandela effect.
Not
We're all just
quite
dumb as
pink.
shit.
Not quite purple. It's magenta.
Magenta.
All right, I deeply cannot find the name of this thing to look up the item. So it's gonna have to remain a mystery for now because I cannot find what the hell this thing does.
Good.
It was all the way back in
I just-
Delve episode number 98 when you took that. So like we're going back.
Well, I will just hand it over to him if I cannot open it and just say I'm really curious to see what this is. Now I can see that you have experience, putting things together. I wonder if you can break it down and find out exactly what this is. And then
He'll take it and he'll look at it. He says, "God, I definitely know what this is, but for the life of me, it's escaping me right now. Give me a little bit of time to look at this, and I will. I'll bring it back to you."
Sure, no problem.
Okay. So he takes that and he'll like tuck it away in the the drawer of the desk or something like that. Kind of looks at the group. He says, "Is there anything else that you could be that you need that I can assist you with?" Oh, I found it!
Uh-oh.
Fun.
Okay. Got it. All right. He goes, "Ha!" and he takes it back out of the back out the door. He's like, I remember what this is. He goes, where did you obtain this?
I just found it.
Make a deception check?
I mean, he did just find it. Is it really a lie?
He's not wrong.
It was just in the lab.
Oh, wow.
Not just giving details. It's not a lie. Except by omission.
14 plus 4 is an 18.
Okay. He rolls a nat 20. He goes, I'm not asking you because you're going to be in trouble. Said,
It's like the principal talking to you. You're not in trouble. Just tell me where you got it.
He says, I can tell you what this is, but there are some of the properties of it are odd, and I need some information.
I kind of look at the whole group and I look like I'm sweating a little bit awkwardly as looking at everybody else before I say anything more.
I put a hand on Thixus and I'm like, you should. I think it's okay.
It's fine. We found it. Well, he found it when they came to rescue me from being experimented on by a really fucked up guy.
He says, this item was in the possession of this individual.
Dicene?
It's Siren Grass.
Yes.
He's dead now.
Dry.
He's super dead.
You say Thysine to him, and he says...
He was creepy.
He says, I had the displeasure of meeting him many years ago.
Oh.
He says, I was one of the deciding votes that banned him from the Ordinum Librae.
I kind of want to high five him.
Yeah.
He says he is one of the people like him, the reason that medical science and certain utilizations of necromancies are considered reviled as they are. He says, the reason I ask is that this item is what is known as a Bloodwell vial. He says it is an item created by an arcanist which is used to enhance their natural ability. It is a focus for spellcasting. The ideal is that one puts some of their own blood into this vial and imbues it with certain properties that creates a link between the amulet, the Bloodwell vial, and the blood within their own living body. If this amulet belonged to Thysine, who, as you say, is now dead, the blood in the vial should have turned to ash and evaporated. It also, I should think, should not have been magenta. Which is concerning.
Are you saying that he's not dead?
I would not presume
that blood
to
is
make...
someone else's.
It's someone else's blood.
He said, looking at it, it doesn't look like blood at all to me. I said, I don't know what is in this. I am unsure of the nature of this item. What have you done with it since it has been in your possession? Have you attempted to...
It's been in my pocket.
So you've just carried it. You haven't been trying to use it in any way. He says,
Not at all.
what I can tell you, this item is a Bloodwell vial. A normal one of these would be imbued with the one who attuned to it with a bit of their own blood, and would be used as a foci for spell casting, which would enhance their abilities. What the liquid in here is and how it relates to the nature of this item, that I cannot guess at.
Question. You called this a Bloodwell vial, but you're saying this may not be blood.
He says if it is blood, it is not blood of a type that I have ever seen. It is magenta and glowing, as you can see.
Wait, is this the stuff he injected me with?
I don't know if you know that because you were blindfolded at the time.
So, but then this is
It
separate
certainly
from the
looks
stuff
like
that
the
they were
stuff that was in.
spewing.
It certainly looks like the stuff that was in the like psionic
Coyote.
zombies that he was making. Yes.
We tell him that. We explain that this was something to do with.
Okay,
his
so one
contract.
extremely long and disturbing conversation
Yeah.
about psionic zombies.
Yeah,
later.
we're not getting. I'm not reading my notes right now.
Honestly, Nimue would also be like, I don't know if he injected that into me, but I will tell him, like, he injected me with something, and then we found all these zombies with, like, these tubes and shit, so,
And
like,
your
The stuff he
powers got
injected
a
in
little
you
wonky
got,
for a
yeah,
minute?
he juiced you, he like roided you out.
he
Yes.
did.
He like
We're-
psychically roided you.
We're like starting to like red string theory on this guy's
Right,
office wall.
that's totally
He
what
just
happened.
he had her on ketamine, like it was fucked up.
It was a wild ride.
He takes all this in. Are the journals that you retrieved from him part of your retelling of this story?
Why
Did we
not?
get them-
It seems he
Yeah.
knows my scene.
Did we get the journals back yet though?
You did not. They are in the possession
Yeah,
of code
tell
breakers
him that
and
they're-
Lucky
We
Bears.
can tell them
They're
that
with the
they're
code
there.
breakers,
Yeah.
and we're waiting for that information too. And
Yeah.
that's why we're like looking for answers everywhere.
Okay. He
We
kind
tell
of
him everything.
he takes this in with sort of like the cool professionalism of a guy who, like, without batting an eye, told you he's a necromancer, and like he's got like a pretty even keel on this one. But when you
He's
finish,
a necromancer. I'm a necromancer. Thycene's a necromancer. Party on. Let's go.
when you finish, he kind of like he puts a hand to his temple and he says, "Would you mind if I held on to this, Thysis?"
I've been holding on to that vial for quite a while.
He says, if it will persuade you, I may be able to call in a favor with Maestro Volodov and obtain a normal one of these for you that you would use as a Bloodwell vial would be intended. I ask only because he kind of looks. He says, whatever is in here, and whatever Thycene was doing, I should very much be remiss if I did not try to examine whatever this is. He says, it is by right yours, and I will remit it to your possession if that is what you desire. I would strongly caution you against attempting to attune or use this item without knowing what this synthetic psionic blood replacement that the Thycene apparently crafted is.
Right.
He says, I possess the resources to study this, to try and understand it.
That's
Would
that's
it
why
be-
I brought it up now, because I knew you would be able to tell me more.
Would it make you feel better if he like figured it out for us and then gave it back if it's like really cool and not super dangerous?
Well, I'm okay with the deal. I think that's a good deal. I'll take a normal one. That would be fine. If we trade. That's fair.
He says, very well. I assure you, I have no interest in this beyond academic understanding. and if whatever these things, if Thycene's research did not truly die with him, and the book that you have brought to the code breakers, and there is more of whatever this is out there, it would be, I should think, better to arm ourselves with knowledge about it.
Could you
When
give
you-
us updates when you figure it out? Because, like, if it's blood to, like, Pendragon, could we use it to, like, track him down?
There's like a half second of a pause, and he goes, "Who?"
I seen.
Hey, yo,
worked
wait, why'd he
for-
pause? Why'd he pause?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
We're gonna get there. So I'll explain who Pendragon is while she insight checks him because she knows she did that better than me.
Get him.
17.
Get him.
So you would like explain Pendragon to him.
I briefly explained Pendragon is we assume Thycene's like boss and he's part of this group that we've worked out with the bookkeepers that we are going to
He's
fight
looking
against.
for
blah, blah, blah.
Napoleon, lunar warriors,
So-
for a secret weapon
You
of
sort
some
of-
sort.
Yeah,
Right.
you kind of explain all that.
Broad
Sela,
strokes, yeah.
with your insight, you like that piques your interest. The fact that it takes him like a fraction of a second before he goes, "Who?" That was a very high insight check. I think what you glean is like, I think you don't get the sense that like the name Pendragon was new to him. But more importantly, like the main sense that you get there is like you sense that when Nimue said like, "Is this Pendragon blood?" Like when Nimue said Pendragon, you get the sense that like he was like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, like he had a half a second where he was like, she said something that she should not be like throwing around that callously, that she knows that name. But then went into like, who? Of like, not letting on that like he knew that you guys know that or whatever. You know, is that making sense in any way?
Yeah, like he was like
He was kind of like, you should not be
he had
throwing
a
names
hard
around.
time. Yeah, he had a hard time hiding the initial shock of hearing it mentioned so casually, but then recovered very quickly to like basically be like,
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
I don't want to give the sense with that high of an insight check. I don't want to give the sense that he's like, "Oh no, my secret boss. They know about
Oh
him."
yeah,
Like,
no.
Me, I'm
More-
Pendragon.
more
How
of-
does she know?
more of like, don't. You're not. You're
Stop
supposed to
yelling
be-
out
You're
secret
supposed to be
information.
more careful about that thing that you're working on than you are. That's I think the vibe that you get from him.
Okay.
And then he like played dumb.
I'm just watching him for a little while. I'm gonna say something eventually, but I gotta just like let it stew.
Yeah, could we, like, whoever's blood it is, could we track down the person or creature or evil thing or cool thing if we know what it is?
He says there are theoretically magics that make that possible. They are unfortunately beyond my skill set or a skill set that I am aware of existing within the Ordinum's power structure.
But
When you have updates on this, we were given, and I look to Murderbeard. I go, Captain, where's the mirror? So if I'm remembering correctly, the mirror, we have it, the fools have it, and then one of the members of the council has
Council
it.
of Eight has one, yes. So that
Has
you
the
can
other
talk
one.
through Ordinum.
So I will tell him that that's how he can immediately contact us. With an
Murderbeard holds
update.
up the mirror, and there's a half orc like shaving in the other one. Oh, he puts it down.
Wait, okay, really quick. I'm sorry. My COVID brain is killing me. What did he just say before the mirror thing?
What did who say?
The guy.
I
We had the moment of them being like, of him being like, "Oh, who?"
I think
And then-
the last thing was he went who,
I was-
and then you guys word vomited everything about
There's-
the Brotherhood
I
and
was
Pendragon at him.
asking- I was
There's
asking
theories.
if there was a way to track it, and he's like, there is ways, but it's beyond his.
Yeah, he's like,
ability.
if
Oh,
we
okay.
can we like track whose blood this is by magic, and he was like, theoretically, I just don't have the means to like help
Right.
you with that.
And then Ron was like, if you get updates on this, contact us through the mirror.
He's like,
Yeah.
Of course.
Can you please answer a question for me?
He says, I suppose I can.
How do you know Pendragon? And don't lie this time. I saw it in your eyes.
He says, I
Wait, hold on. Pause, please.
pause.
Really quick.
What?
Wait,
Wait.
Wait.
Do I have it? I think I had it set in that I had Zone of Truth, but I have to check my spells really quick. Hold on. I'm having
He's
a
about to
freak
hook
out.
this man up to the,
Yeah!
the lie detector. Do it to him.
Yeah, I had Zone of Truth, so I want. If she's asking him a question and says, "And don't lie," I want.
Okay, so he opens his mouth and he goes,
Do
"Zone of Truth!"
not lie this time.
No, like the second she says "and don't lie," I'm casting for the first time with everybody Zone of Truth.
Cool. Everybody, please roll
Oh no.
to resist the Zone of Truth.
Oh no, what is it? What do we roll?
It's really low. It's not
it
great.
wisdom?
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Probably wisdom, huh?
It's only
Oh,
13.
boy.
That's not great.
Oh no, I failed. Did I fail?
I
What's
got an
my-
8. Plus
I got a 14. I rolled a 7.
So you succeed. You passed.
15 plus 1 is a
You passed.
16. All right.
I failed.
So Nimue failed. Okay. Okay.
I'm waiting for. I want to know if Captain failed.
Nimwe's about
pass.
to tell us, like, yes, I have daddy issues. Yes, I'm a bimbo.
We're not
What's the
there right now.
problem?"
That's not the purpose right now.
Actually,
wonder what
I
that's
don't
about.
think Macbeth. I don't think he has to tell you whether he succeeded or failed, because I'm not going to tell you whether Sandra Darquette succeeded or failed.
Right.
What I'm going to tell you
Well,
is
wouldn't I
that
know?
Does
no,
it
I
stay
don't.
on the
I don't
spell if
believe.
you
I
know?
don't believe you know.
Hold on. On a failed save, you know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving
Oh,
throw.
okay, so you do.
Yeah,
know.
you
Okay.
do. That's right.
Oh, there it is.
Gotta tell
I remember
me.
because Diana was
Hey,
using
Russell,
it.
if you want to tell Brittany directly, you can. Whether you see it.
Yeah.
And I will.
Text me.
I mean, I'll just tell.
Why you
I'll
gotta be
tell.
sassy?
I'll tell
'cause we
you
can.
as the group, so because it's stupid for me to like DM it. Rowan, you know that Sandra Darquette, like, without batting an eyelash, like, just like whips the effect of your spell off.
It was worth a shot.
And he sort of like raises an eye, and he says to you, Rowan, he says, "It is generally considered extremely bad form to use magic of that nature without permission, especially in a city of this nature." He
Understood.
says,
But I'm a pirate at this point,
he not.
and this is important.
He
I was
says-
literally gonna be like, we're pirates, dude.
No, I'm taking
I
one
do it
page out
all
of
the
Sealess
time.
book,
He-
and I'm saying I'm a
he-
damn pirate at this point.
He
and
like
I'm-
he holds up a
this
hand.
is desperate.
He holds up a hand and he goes, "Be that as it may, pirate or not, it is a warning I will give you that
Literally the first and probably last time I'll cast the spell.
people
But yes.
people will not respond well to that." He says, "However, I understand the severity of the conversational faux pas we find ourselves in, so I will let it slide." He turns back to you, Sela, and he says, "There are multiple ways I could answer your question. He doesn't do that. I did that. I know that's a thing you guys are looking for. He does not do that.
We're all
He
like, come on,
goes-
is that him?
he goes,
And the bass blasts out.
he goes, there are multiple ways that I could answer your question. He says, I could answer your question in the sense that I do not know Pendragon, as they are not a person that I have ever met or have any acquaintance with. I could answer your question and say that I only learned of the existence of Pendragon yesterday. He says, what I will say is that I am high enough within the echelons of the
He's the
Odin and
necromancer.
that when decisions are made by the Council of Eight, I am informed in ways that I should need to know as someone who runs one of the larger branches of the organization here at the ward. He says, I knew who you were before you came in here today because I was told. I know of your arrangement with the council and what you were doing. And I also know that it is probably best if you adopt a policy of greater discretion in matters involving the Brotherhood of Artanis and its generals. He says, luckily, I am not a turncoat who you have just shared a bunch of sensitive information to. But my advice would be to take caution in future dealings with individuals. We have already seen one kingdom fall swiftly and efficiently thanks to this Brotherhood's ability to wheedle its way into the highest levels of its power.
I really want to kill Pendragon, so I'm probably gonna say his name again. Just being honest here, because I can't not be honest.
So here's the thing, because I'm remembering when we had the crossover session, and there were a couple of the people like the people on the council who were like kind of iconic, or like they had like certain like things, like phrases that they said or ways that they acted that stood out, and I was like, I want to commit those to memory because I couldn't smell any of them.
Sure.
Was I able to commit to memory anything about the necromancer? Because I'm not seeing it in the notes in a cursory glance. And does he match up with what I might have gotten?
Make an insight check.
Necromancer says what?
What?
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Make a persuasion roll, Murderbeard.
You said insight?
Insight check,
Yeah.
Seela, persuasion, Murderbeard.
It's a 19.
19, okay.
God. That's a 24.
Fuck, okay.
It was 19 plus
Seela,
the-
he opens his mouth to, like, say something more to you as you're, like, giving him the eye and racking your brain. And then for the first time in, like, 25 minutes, Murderbeard says something. So, like, Murderbeard from, like, the back of the group just, like, leans in and goes, like, Necromancer says what? And he goes, like, what? Oh, come on.
Got him! Got him! Got
He
him!
did get you.
Seela, you, with that insight check of 19, you will remember that one of the two people on the council who voted against, essentially allying themselves with you was the necromancer. And you will remember that the main, opposition, the reason that the necromancer had stated for being against, like, allying themselves with you guys, was that they felt like a group of like ragtag seafaring pirates were like wild cards, that putting like the eggs in that basket was like unsound tactically, I guess. So the necromancer seemed to be somebody who was like very concerned with sort of like the like
We just hit him with the "fuck you, we're pirates" card like 3 minutes ago.
like, you know, my big concern is like that these guys are like a bunch of loose cannons. And that does seem to be the thing that like he immediately hit on the head with you guys of like of right now. He doesn't do that because he's not that guy. But he is
a guy.
With that insight, I think that sort of like that kind of kicks something in your brain that you like, you know, like maybe, yeah, that lines up.
I think I understand how you know Pendragon now. Thank you for answering my question.
He goes like he says
very big ears. You have to be very careful with what you say. I hear it all.
He sort of shakes his head and he says, then I think on that note, you have you an established residence while you were within the city?
We've been hotel hopping.
Yeah.
Checking out all the best spots.
We need to go to the Deep Fried Hotel next.
He says, the Archmage Fieri's establishment. He says, if two bits of advice. I will, being that you have not a permanent residence while you remain within the city, Thyxis, I will, once I manage to get my hands on a more normal example of a Bloodwell vial, I will have it delivered to Kestra Hall. Lady Molyneux there, the quartermaster for the Ordinum's Relic Hunters, can keep it for safekeeping, and you can inquire there to retrieve it from her before you depart.
Oh, perfect. That sounds great. Thank you.
He says, I will make it a personal point when the cryptographers manage to crack Thycene's journals to take a look at them myself and offer any insights that I can in the dossier of information that is returned to you about his work. I should think I will have insight in understanding the decoded journals when such things come about. And as I study this, and he holds up, I will keep you abreast of anything that I discover on the matter. And he says, final bit of advice, if you do visit Archmage Fieri's establishment, if he offers you a sample of a concoction that he claims will allow you to see onto the elemental plane of flavor, I have seen it change people, and I would advise against it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
He nods.
Like, sis, I think we should go to the flavor plane. I think our minds are strong enough. I don't have faith. I do not have faith in the others, but you and I could do it.
I'm in.
Really? You think Styxus is going to be able to handle it?
Styxus wears leather pants that sound like a mouse chorus every day. I think he could handle Flavor Village.
Just kind of used to the sound now. I'm kind of numb to it. I don't even hear it anymore. Just...
I do.
I think I'll try to start pushing my friends out the door since he's clearly fed up with our shenanigans.
As I'm being shoved out the door, thank you, Master Kent.
We totally just proved this man's point. I love
Yep.
it.
They just sort of regular things, and you guys head out. The
really
orcs,
quick, as
you...
we're walking down, as we're walking out, and like they're talking about Flavortown and whatever, I just slide next to Captain, and just say, you know you love Thixus. And I'm not asking a question, but I just say, you know you love Thixus, and I smirk at him, and then I join the rest of the group. I'm not waiting for a reaction.
Did you see a single tear?
That's the truth that we needed.
Roll the
Alright.
2.
Yikes.
That was the secret that I sent Brittany.
All right, so you guys make
I
your
could have
way...
asked you so many things, but I'm resisting right now. This will be a problem for another day.
Oh, goodness. You, with great power...
That
comes
was a
great
Pandora's box
responsibility.
you did not want to open.
We don't have time tonight.
So you guys leave Walthorpe Hall. What is your so what's your next destination? What's the hit list of things you're trying to do? Like, a lot of your loose ends are like, you know, kind of at the point where,
Stewards.
like, when you tell me you're ready to go, I'll be like, okay, here's what comes back with the book. Here's what comes back with the, like, you know, like. So for stuff
We
that
wanted
you,
to go
We're going to
This-
Flavortown,
There's
weren't
only
we?
one answer to this question.
that. We want to find the stewards to arrange transportation for the orcs quickly. So that
I'm
they'll-
also happy
wave
to
that.
like handle that off screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and then
hands
have
wave that
another-
and also
Yeah.
get a
I'm
box
just
of,
making
like,
the
glasses
list.
for near and far-sighted people, just in casies.
Yeah, you guys visit.
Great.
You visit.
Um,
you visit the lens crafters and get a bunch of glasses.
Lens
Yeah.
forgers.
Lens forgers.
Lens forgers.
Lens forgers.
It's a pair of gnomes with like an enormous blast furnace. Just like, okay, no problem. So yeah, you you have been threatening to go to dungeons, diamonds, and delves for a while. You have that.
More like promising.
What's that?
More like promising.
Promising.
There's just so many places that I want to visit here. It's like
I miss the ship.
Yeah, you know what?
I agree.
I kind
A
of
little
do
bit.
too.
We'll go
I think
get
I just miss
dinner
tea
and then we'll go
kettle.
back. And then we're done. Yeah? Dinner and done?
We go to the flavor plane. We go
Okay.
to the ship.
Well, and I think we want to wait for Thixtus's trade,
All right.
and
The
then
information.
Oh yeah, yes, that's important. Yeah.
Yeah, I
once we
mean, I'm
have that-
basically like, if you guys are like, all right, we're cool seeing different things in the city, like, let's do Flavortown, we'll do Flavortown, and then, like, I'll give you a wrap up to your like various loose ends, and we can make a clean transition into the next phase of the story.
Hell yeah.
Okay, it not hard to find. What did I name this place? Dungeons, Diamonds, and Delves. I think was what I had called it. It is a two-story
There's
building.
billboards everywhere.
It is a two-story building. It is painted like fire engine red and black, and it has like enchanted like all around the lip of the roof of the building has these like enchanted like sconces in it that have these like, so basically it looks like the whole building is just like has like fire coming out of the top of it. So it's a very like ostentatious looking building. You can smell like deep fried dough and like meat and grease from probably like a block before you get to the actual restaurant. And you kind of enter through the large front doors. It is laid out like almost like mess hall style, where there's just like all these long bench tables that people just sit around like family style. You just like sit down at a seat, and that's where you sit. At the far end, the entire back end of the building is like one massive like open grill surface. There is a bar to the right as you guys enter in. Behind the bar, you do see an individual who is fairly like fairly broad of like chest and shoulder, is wearing a red and black sort of like Maitre D's uniform, and is wearing a red porcelain mask that like covers their whole face. And then behind the grill, you see an individual who is wearing a set of robes, set of short-sleeved robes. They're wizard's robes, but they have short sleeves. There is like flame designs on the robes. He appears to be human. He is in his maybe 40s, little heavier set. He has short cropped hair that has been artificially like enchanted to he's got magically frosted. It's Guy Fieri. I don't know why I'm like burying the lead on this one. It's Guy Fieri in a wizard robe. He is behind the grill. As you guys walk in, he just lifts a hand and goes, "Hey, welcome."
Hello.
The restaurant's pretty crowded. There's like a lot of people, at the benches. You see that there are like big like meat dishes, things that are just like deep fried in dough, like cheese slathered on everything. It smells phenomenal in here. And as you guys sit down, you find a place to sit. In a sort of like a whirl of fire and a guitar riff and glitter, Archmage Fieri like disappears from behind the bar and then like reappears by you guys. Oh, hang on, we need some vibes for this, huh?
Oh shit, I wasn't muted when I coughed. Damn, sorry, gonna cam. Yes, Jason, he did just use Flavor Step.
Flavor
Yeah,
Step.
he
Yes.
used Flavor Step.
Yes.
He pops up next to you guys and he says, "Welcome to Dungeons, Diamonds, and Delves. I am." And he like does this with his hands, and like an arc of like fire comes out, and the words Archmage Fieri appears above his heads. He goes, "I'm Archmage Fieri, and I would be happy to quench your hunger today. What can I get you?"
Ooh.
Guys, I did not think this far. I
lean forward. I go, "Do you have a fried bug menu for my friend here?"
He thinks for a second, and he goes, "I can." And he
There we go.
turns away, and he like.
I'm about
he
to
goes,
go into the corner and pull up some bugs.
No, he turns away from you, and he reaches into his robe, and he pulls out a pair of like lensed glasses that he like puts on his head, and then he like looks through the lenses as if he's like looking past you at something that like you can't see, and he goes, well, "That'll do." And he like and opens like a portal in front of him, and reaches in, and his hand like up to his shoulder disappears, and he comes back out with like a log like this, that he just like cracks in half, and it's like the Lion King where he like opens it up and there's all these like wild insects in it, and he goes like, "How about this?" He's like, "I'll probably deep fry that and put cheese on it. That doing it for you?"
Yes, these ones right here, the grubs. They're fattened orange.
And he goes like, "Very well," and he like smacks the log together again and goes like, spins it like a basketball on his finger, and then like just goes whoop and shunts it, and it like disappears back into thin air again. And he goes, "All right, what about the rest of you? What can I do for you?"
Meat. Give me fried meat.
He says, that is the exact correct order when you come here. Anybody else?
I point at her. Yeah, that.
He goes, all right. He goes,
I
"We
will
gotta-"
have, when I have the pulled orc. I don't.
Do you come
that
from
real
a
orc?
land where you don't know where pork? You know what pork is?
Your menu is spelled P and then orc, like orc.
It's portioned in a size that would be satisfactory to an orc. I thought that was very obvious.
All right, as long as it's not orc meat. I'm
No,
doing
that would
Brahms'
be-
voice.
That would
Wrong
be...
character.
Hey, when did this guy get here?
Shows up, eat with us, and leave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just ordering takeout. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, whatever. Look, sometimes your brain shuts off.
Alrighty,
What's
yeah.
the most expensive thing on the menu?
He like
God.
turns and he looks at you and he says, "That depends. Are you looking for an experience for your stomach or for your soul?"
I grab the back of Thixis's neck.
What? What am I doing? I'm ordering.
Be careful.
Let him go to Flavortown.
I don't think I can heal you back from that. I'm just saying.
Let him go.
What's worse is gonna happen? Like a stomach ache?
Wait, I also want to go to flavor elemental plane of flavor.
Can I also get the
A side of flavor?
the chicken platter, the deck of henny things?
God damn
Get
it.
that?
Ah!
Yes, you can.
Puts her head down on the table. She's like, I'm out.
I guess my answer would be, why not both?
Yeah. Yes, and all.
He says, all right, well, he says, I guess my next question is, how much coin do you have?
How much does it cost?
Enough. Don't
Yeah,
worry about
He
it.
says,
more than enough.
I don't
Especially
know
if Lynx
about
is
that.
paying.
I do not have any coin. Thixis has all my coin.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Lynx is paying.
He goes. He
Can we put
takes
it
a
on
look at
the
you guys.
order?
He takes a look at you guys. He goes, you know what? You guys, I can recognize a group of kindred spirits when I see one. You guys have souls that I jam with. So
Is that on the menu? Is Soul Jam on the menu? I'll take that too.
I actually
What is our master Kent?
I'm out of it. It's hard to
Yeah.
get. It's
Damn.
He says no. I jive with you guys. You guys are rad. So here's what I'll say. He points over to that like bartender with like a mask, and he goes, "My apprentice there, he specializes in, and I know what it sounds like before I say it, so I'm gonna say this now. It's not a sex thing, but he specializes in taking payment of an unconventional nature."
Are you sure it's not a
I
sex
reiterate in the strongest possible terms.
But-
It's not a sex thing, and no, it can't
But
be.
also, damn it. He knew exactly what I was gonna say.
I was going there too, Captain. I feel you. I wasn't even.
He
thinking.
says,
And I was gonna say, one way or another, Thixis is paying.
he says, we'll work something out over there, and the meal will be on the house tonight.
What is he gonna do to us?
I don't know, but I'm here for it.
I just look at the group and say, it seems reasonable, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we're here for the experience, right? That's why we
Yes.
came.
Yeah.
He goes, all right. And then he goes, and he whistles, and he goes, all right, staff, give him the works. And like,
Roll initiative.
actually,
I feel like I should be.
you know what? Roll
No,
initiative. Roll initiative. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Dirty 20.
It's a 13 for Thixis.
17 for Rowan.
I rolled really good.
23 for Nimue.
Ooh, okay.
5.
Oh, and I appreciate the bardic
He'll
inspiration,
immediately
Jason.
sit there
Thanks a lot.
So Archmage Fury takes his glasses and he just like flips them to the back of his head, and he goes, "Give him the works!" And all of the lights in the restaurant go out at once, and then a bunch of like flame, like bursts of flame start like coming out of places that you don't know where the like mechanism that's shooting it from is coming. And like rock and roll music starts playing, and that will be where we end the session tonight. As next session, we will take a journey to Flavortown.
What do I say things?
That is
Concerning.
That is what we did. That's what we did tonight. We talked to a guy for like an hour and a half, and then we yes-anded each other about a Guy Fieri themed restaurant to a point where now we're gonna have a whole
a
Guy
thing.
Fieri themed session next week.
Maybe a thing.
Who knows? Hey,
Send help.
send help. No,
I will not be here 2 weeks from now, as I will be dead. But
Good.
2 weeks after that, I'll be here.
Good.
Okay, okay.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I am excited to kind of like get on with the next chapter of our adventure here. So next week, jokes aside, like the Archmage Fury thing will be brief. And then we'll kind of get moving, as you guys have a lot of kind of irons in the fire that I think it'll be good to have a kind of a clean session to like wrap all those threads up and get you guys a nice little bundle to move off onto the next portion of our journey. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys at home for sticking with us. And may God have mercy on our souls that I now have 2 weeks to design a Guy Fieri themed encounter. It's going to be phenomenal. Thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle, as always. And if you have not done so or want to do so again, click that link down below to donate to our Extra Life charity event this year. And we'll be back next week for the Fool's Errand, and then the week after that for the Grimm's Folly, and then so on and so forth until the inevitable heat death of the universe. And as always, we love you, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye!
Everybody.